Universes, the 11th of August, 2024. Carelessness, heedlessness, I am not. The series is about a person who is left in a coma for more than 18 months. He is asked where he went and what happened there, as though they are asking about life after clinical death. But he replies that he remembers being in a bar, which is before he was in a coma. When someone wakes up from a coma after this long, if he is in a hospital, sometimes factors contribute to his mental state, like feeling like he is being held against his will, or that there has been a mistake and he cannot recollect why he is in confinement or being interrogated. Fear, shameless. The series seems to be about having his memories altered after waking up from his coma, where his wife would have switched with another woman that he does not recognize. It is like the guy is living a second life he only just woke up to and which he does not recognize. The Anunnaki are similar to the concept of angels in the Abrahamic religions. In some sense, the movie is about parallel worlds, where he would wake up in a world that is different than his own, conflicting realities. But this is not possible, because we only have this one world and events in this world propagate throughout the world through the chaos theory, right? It is one theory that any event, if not perceived by a human, would not occur. Therefore, if this theory is true, the parallel world theory could also be true, in which human consciousness allows for events to occur and anything that is not perceived by humans would not be altered. This theory is blasphemous. Anthropocentrism is interpreting the world through the lens of humans, human-centric, that humans alone have intrinsic value, and that they are the most important entity on the planet. Based upon the concept of anthropocentrism, we get the concept of humanism, which considers humans the starting point for serious moral and philosophical inquiry. This can be true if we consider morality as a human intervention rather than abiding contracts with the Creator. Due to this duality, we get a schism in society. A group of people would be considered believers if they base their moral judgment or moral law upon commandments from God. The other group would be considered disbelievers, in some sense, if they believe that humans are the center of moral conduct and for which morality is maintained. It is like the division between the party of people who would do a moral deed because God commanded it and another who do it in order to be identified as moral people by their community. This would establish humans' thirst for grandeur, even if it is only by other human beings. Fame and attention seeking versus piety. I remember we studied something like that in CC2. When doctors try to identify what the actor has gone through, they test him through an MRI scan. It is like people have not yet figured out that the human brain, although a central organ in the human body, its job towards external objects is to transmit, receive, and send information. It is like an internal speech device, which speaks to the other organs by commanding them to do certain tasks. It orders the heart to keep pounding, the limbs to move, and the unconscious as well as conscious tasks to be conducted. It would be very difficult for a human to hear their brain ordering their organs around. Had our brains used the same speech channel with our organs, we would be deafened by the constant lines of orders being sent around. I would imagine a person going into a frenzied state if their brain kept speaking to their heart to pound through the human speech channel. The human would keep hearing pound, 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 pound over and over throughout their lives. However, humans undergo many psychological states in which a person would be identified as hearing voices. These voices are external to the human perception. They would be voices that do not sound like the person themselves speaking. People would hear it in the voice of the one who is speaking, whether it be a good or a bad entity. The most prominent conception is that the Quran is the words of God spoken to his messenger, peace be upon him, through the angel Gabriel, peace be upon him. Speech could utilize as many channels as required for the message to be delivered. The genocide. We all know our lives are marked by the choices that we make, and while I was never a fan of regret, I will admit to a certain curiosity about the path not taken. She made the selection of which part of her show a viewer would be able to see based upon drawing lots. By making the guests select a single card out of 3 cards to give to the waiter, they would still have 2 more cards to present the next time they come to visit. By selecting a card, the remaining cards indicate which sections of the show the guest would be able to see. If the selected card was used to determine which parts would be viewable, or if the selected card determined which section they would be able to enter, the remaining cards, if they come back again, would be presented to determine which path they have not yet seen. I don't know how this selection process can go, but it seems like they resorted to drawing lots. Lots are a collective selection criteria that is done at large to determine a single outcome, but although it is random, it relies on human selection. Selecting 1 card out of 3 is an undetermined decision. It is based on chance. Yeah, but also human decision of card. Or possibly that the person who is in a coma was given a glimpse to his future and stops recognizing their current life, the past, compared to his future. In his future life, he is married to a woman whom he worked with. It is shown in the movie as the present, though, so we are made to believe he is living in a different reality than his own, when he wakes up in the past and starts paving the way for his future. It's a movie trick. This series resolved back showing the decision that was made to cause the split in the actor's life. That he was married to his wife, but when she was pregnant, he told her that he had better things to do than take care of the child, in which case she had to miscarry. This flips the Schrodinger's cat theory on its head. The child is born, and he is a 15-year-old son in a version of reality, and not born, nor married, in a second version of reality. The series places the child as an object of importance in the 2 realities or worlds. I like the version with the actor being told about his future, the past and future duality, that he wakes up from the coma with knowledge from his future, where he would appreciate his future with his wife and child more than his new unknown reality. The unknown reality can signify a past that the person buries after marriage. Similar series that come to mind: The OA, The Flash, Doctor Strange, and The Multiverse. In the OA, they perform a specific dance that would allow them to travel through the parallel worlds. The Flash has the character moving in a speed that is faster than the speed of sound, and tear a gap in space-time to travel between the past and the future. Doctor Strange meets a child who has the power to move through the parallel worlds, where in each world a different Doctor Strange with a different mentality and attitude lives. In that movie, Doctor Strange is the main character, based on whose powers the whole concept of the multiple universes was started. He started the multidimensional travel, which would allow the girl to get her powers and travel between the worlds. What if the person that abducted me is me? How can it be you? Not exactly me, a version of me. Imagine he and I are the same person all those years ago, right until the moment that you got pregnant. Then we split up into our own separate universes. We split because I chose to be with you and he chose to pursue work, which led to the creation of a box. What if in this moment I am in his world and he is in mine? This box is used as a tool to travel between the past and the present, or used as a way to set the objects inside it to the superposition, where they would be both dead and alive at the same time, in the past and in the present at the same time. It is a way of separating the objects from outside influence, and when they are separated, they are in their superposition. In a vacuum of space in between the multiple universes, its superposition results in. In some way, it is like having a single space separated from the outside world of its current reality, causing it to be able to tap into any other reality. A black box that could work as a portal to other universes.